Okay, so I'm very glad to be here, explaining a little bit about ISTQB to you. So the title is actually not invented by me. It's by my good friend from ISTQB, Olivier Denon. So a big thank you for great slides for him. So everything you always wanted to know about ISTQB, and you dared not to ask. So we'll go a little bit behind the scenes. So ISTQB in a nutshell, really. That's what we are going to talk about next 15 minutes or so. So yes, I have a personal touch there. I was in the executive committee of ISTQB for 6 years, and I've been around the whole journey, 20-year journey of ISTQB. I think I know a little bit about what it is all about. So let's take a look at it. So that's a scheme of certifications which are independent, valid globally, anywhere in the world. And the whole organization has been around since 2002. The first 2 years there to develop the first certification. And actually it was combining efforts of previous smaller regional certification schemes. And then this one was the first truly global certification scheme. And today it's 120 countries using different ISTQB content, taking exams, learning, being a community. So it's quite a big these days. It is the scheme really to understand what exactly is testing. And so there's of course a purpose why ISTQB wants to be there. It is to explain and create and increase understanding of quality and software. That's a very profound reason why ISTQB people want to put time, volunteer time, into creating lots of great content. So it's a not-for-profit association. Pretty much everybody there is a volunteer. I'm going to go into behind the scenes a little bit the next few slides and explain a little bit if there's somebody there who gets some money out of it, maybe just a little bit. But yeah, the big scheme is really run by volunteers, including myself. Never got anything, any salary out of ISTQB. That's the whole point. We have passion, ethics to provide ideas to the world about better software testing. So that is pretty much the idea. The numbers are pretty baffling these days. So way over 1 million exams have been taken worldwide. Out of those, not everybody passes those exams. So at these slides, I think the numbers are probably about a year old, 800,000 certificates. I think we are actually closing the 1 million certificate limit in next few months. So if you keep following the ISTQB website, the front page will also mention the numbers. I'm expecting next update to include something like over 1 million certificates and not just the exams. So that's quite interesting. Where is ISTQB? Well, it's global, 120 countries, right? So it's very, very global. One way to look at it is to see where the headquarters is, and that is where the pinpoint is. Which country is that? That's Belgium. So Belgium, Brussels, has the ISTQB headquarters, and that's the official address. But there's nobody there. That's not where people are. But when you have an association, you need to have a home base. You need to have an address. So there's actually a secretariat there, which is a professional company providing management services for different associations. And so this company in this address is actually called MCI, and they have tens of customers. ISTQB is one of the customers. So they basically provide bookkeeping services for ISTQB. So if you go there, Yeah, please do, but you can't find ISTQB there. You can ask it, is MCI here? And then you can maybe find somebody who knows a little bit about the ISTQB. So ISTQB is really people who are spread around the world in different countries. So in all the countries, you can see here in blue. So lots and lots of countries, lots and lots of member boards, lots and lots of exam providers. And so the whole ecosystem is really ISTQB. I'm coming from Finland. You see Finland there is also blue. So there's an ISTQB board also in Finland, which is called Finnish Software Testing Board, as Marcel just pointed out. So that's my personal background into the ISTQB ecosystem. So let's think about what's in it for me. Why should we look at different ISTQB involvement, including certifications? From a personal point of view, when you engage into this ecosystem, when you get certificates, when you go to courses, maybe get certificates after that, when you pass a certificate, you get something that's valid anywhere in the world. So if you take a certificate in Finland, you go to Brazil, it's the same certificate. It's a proof that you have looked into this content. You know content because you passed the exam. So it's skills, it's knowledge that you have. It's of course not everything you need to know as a tester. As a tester, you need to have a set of things, you need to have knowledge, you need to have practice, experience from many angles, and not only from testing, but ISTQB is providing that one bit in whatever you need to know as a tester and how you learn. It does help as one part of your career development. And as you notice, there are numbers from ISTQB surveys. Why would you engage in ISTQB? And people think that career path development and test skills development are two great reasons why would you go to a course and take exams. And numbers are increasing. How many people recommend that you would go into ISTQB things, go to an exam? 92% recommend ISTQB out of everybody who took an exam in the previous survey. So that's very nice numbers. Companies, of course, also get great advantages. So it's about skills, it's about ability to have competition, win bids. If you are in a consulting company and you want to win bids, it's about that. It's about having people which know the same terms and are able to talk to each other because they share the same understanding of what testing can be, etc., etc. So many different reasons there. And then there are the community. I think this is really the most important part. So it's not about certificates really. It's not about company benefits. It's really about bringing more testing into the world, and not just testers, but bringing more testing into the world. That's in the end better quality software. That's in the end a better world. I think this is why I think all of us are into testing. It's not just because testing is interesting. It's because by testing we get a better software and a better life and better society. So by going into the community, you can have your own bit of influence there. It's a very impactful society to be out there, and this ecosystem is actually quite big. So there are different people. It's not one person, one company, one team who is doing things. It's really lots of people. So let's look at what is ISTQB today. So there's a portfolio of different certificates. That's the core product of ISTQB, if you will. So there are people, individuals who want to learn, who want to prove that they have learned by taking an exam. The people want to be able to work together effectively to create good quality software. That's of course the idea. What ISTQB does there is provide well-taught content. And the content is organized into different products, different syllabi. The latest, actually not yet published picture of ISTQB portfolio is right there. I think it's going to be updated into the website pretty soon. in the middle there's a foundation, so certified tester foundation level, which is at 4.0. So this is a bit of new. This year, 4.0 version was rolled out, and it was a big update, huge major update to the foundation, and it also included most of the content from a separate syllabus called Agile Tester. So now Agile is so mainstream that ISTQB put the Agile content into the main foundation syllabus. So that's there in the core. And there are a number of specialist topics you can learn through ISTQB syllabi and then the courses and the exams. Some are about a domain like banking or automotive. Some are about some specialist topics like usability testing or security testing. And then, so those are on the bottom there in the picture. On the top, there are a number of paths where you can advance from foundation. You can learn skills based on your role, test manager, tester, test automation expert, etc., and go on all the way up to the expert level. So lots of opportunities. But ISTQB is also not alone, but there's also partners or alliances. There are many more to come. So at the moment, ISTQB is expanding the ecosystem to different alliances. Currently, there's a requirement management body there, IREB. There's a test improvement body there, TMMI. And there's also a business analysis body, which is IQBBA. And there can be more. So ISTQB is currently looking into more alliances, and what that enables is providing better set of skills development for people out there. So let's take a look at the backstage. So I promised to share a little bit of what happens on the back. So ISTQB consists of General Assembly, a meeting twice a year, which is a meeting by member boards. So that's on the left. That's a decision-making body. There are training providers who provide courses which are based on the syllabi. There are exam providers which are separate entities which are providing the exams for those certificates, for those syllabi, or to be taken after a course. Either is possible. And then there are working groups. So working groups are the biggest chunk of people, and so volunteers creating content about something new. So you could put it in a picture. ISTQB takes members, they are called member boards. They could be in one country or multiple countries. The member boards accredit training providers. So they give a permission, they check that somebody, a training provider company wants to provide a course. It is actually according to the syllabus. So it's actually training what it's supposed to train. So, consistency. And remember, board is also making contracts with exam providers. So there can be many, and exam providers then will provide the exams. And testers, people who want to take these courses and or exams, then get services from all of these three parts in the ecosystem. So ISTQB is just the umbrella making everything happen. Member boards are really doing most of the thing locally, and so that's how it works. That is a very decentralized organization, really. What's this GA, General Assembly? So that is the twice-a-year meeting. That is all of the member boards, all of the not-for-profit associations coming together in a meeting. For half a year, there have been decisions kind of accumulating, and then all of us are proposed and discussed in length, and then voted. Each member board has one vote, and then decisions are made. This is going to be the next syllabus. This is going to be some internal rules, etc., etc. So currently GA means 66 member boards attending there and voting. Most will be there in person, but also people who have trouble traveling will be able to vote electronically. And actually during pandemic, the electronic voting and ability to meet hybrid, surprisingly, like I think for everybody, took a big step. So ISTQB couldn't stop, of course, during pandemic. Rather, we had people participating in online meetings over Teams, and they had lots of pictures like this that time. this is of course Muppets here, but Teams provides similar pictures, so we have lots of photos where we have faces there, and it was quite nice and different. But it's still great to be in real physical meetings these times. So a GA is really about 200 people plus, and there you have member boards proposing ideas, and then discussion happening and voting happening. In the ecosystem, there is a 4-person executive committee, so I've been one of those 4 for 6 years, not anymore, not at the moment. That's strategic and operational decision making. Then you have those working groups, so they are more operational, and they keep ISTQB running. So they're all volunteers who are meeting online every 2 weeks or a month, depending on the working group, and they also come together in those general assemblies. So it's lots of things happening there on a volunteer basis. People are putting their holidays into this. They are using their evenings. They are using sometimes work time, depending on their employers, into making things happen. So who can join as a member board? So that can be any association that is classified as not-for-profit. It needs to be, of course, in an area there is no member board at the moment, so ISTQB is expanding, but there's still white spots on that map. There are some rules, what you have to do, sign NDAs, etc. An applicant member board needs to be applying in a General Assembly, and then General Assembly will vote if that member board seems to have a structure to promote testing in their area. So that is how you become a member board. And how about individuals? How can you join a member board? Well, basically anybody can. There are some local rules with member boards. What do you need to do? How active you need to be able to member on a member board, etc. Typically, there's an NDA you need to sign to do some things within a member. Anyway, very open. People can join. It's great to be advancing testing world. Let's take a look at the working groups, a bit more about that. So what is out there? There's something called processes. That is all the internal ways of working. So all of those are thoroughly discussed, put into processes, which are documents. They are fine-tuned, they are reviewed, people agree globally from all the member boards. This is how we work on a topic. For example, this is how we create the new syllabus. This is how exam providers must do their exams. So the rules decided in this way are globally binding. There's also a marketing working group, which is providing content for promoting testing in different countries. They do their part of direct promoting of testing, but also the local boards, then member boards, will take the content and promote testing locally. Most of the working groups are for product working groups, and they are really creating new content. As you notice, the product portfolio is like 20 plus at the moment, and there's more coming all the time, a few per year. So lots of condensed knowledge put into those syllabi that anybody can read and take and use without any obligation. You don't need to take a course, you don't need to go to exam, you can just read the syllabus. There's lots of condensed information there, and product groups are putting that information together. So typically they are people who know a lot about that certain point. So for example, when the security testing syllabus was created, it was lots of testers who knew security testing, but also security experts were involved, and this working group was put together just to create security testing syllabus. And then it's available for everybody. So there are a few working groups in that area. There's also a few, let's say, supporting working groups in the product area. There's a glossary working group that makes sure that the terminology, the glossary, is consistent over different ISTQB syllabi. There's TBOK, that's testing body of knowledge. So there's an idea, which is still in progress, to produce a website that has all the testing knowledge in those syllabi in an easily usable, readable, findable format available for anybody in the world. Let's see when it's going to be released. Exams is thinking about the structures of exams, giving ideas for the exam providers to actually implement exams. And then academia is reaching to the universities and professors, and that's a great initiative always as well. You also have the governance, which makes sure everybody is following the rules. You have executive committee, which is driving things, and you got a little bit of admin there. So basically, one paid person. I promised some numbers. One paid person in the whole ISTQB, and then a bit of a back office service in that MCI company in Brussels. So very volunteer based, doing lots and lots of things. Again, who can join a working group? It could be an active member of member board. It could be anybody else. Just need to be backed by one member board. And it's also needed because when you are writing a syllabus on a very specific, narrow topic, you need experts who know exactly about that, and they might not be ISTQB members at the time. So we need to look for people from different places, and then you can be there. There are a few elected positions, so there are elections every year, every other year, working groups, every other year, executive committee. So people who want to run the organization and the working groups can propose to be elected, and then there are elections, and people are voted in. So that's how you get into the top roles. New executive committee at the moment has been in effect since April, and this is the people there. Claudia from Germany as president, Olivia from France and Belgium as a vice president, Sarah from Canada as a treasurer, and Sebastian from Poland as a secretary. So this is the current team. You will also notice it's nicely 50-50 male, female, very equal organization in that sense. It's very, very nice. A little bit about the working group structure. So how a syllabus comes to be, you need to propose it, GA to vote, when there's work and reviews, and in the end another vote if it's accepted and approved and rolled out. And then member boards can localize it if they want. Thinking about exam providers and training providers, let me just click this visible. So basically there can be many exam providers, global or just working in one country. They all need to follow the rules, either if they provide local exams or paper-based exams or computer-based exams, or if they promote remote proctoring. If you want to be a training provider, again, you need to be accredited by a member board. So it's all quite regulated so that anybody in the world has a consistent experience. Regarding remote proctoring, I mentioned that's something ISTQB started during the pandemic, and it's very popular, very easy now to take ISTQB exams from your home or office anywhere in the world. So that's it. Thank you.